Would you please pray with me? God, let your words be heard tonight. Open our hearts and our ears so that we may hear you. And let me not get in the way of anything that you would have heard or said. Amen. So, God and Adam are walking through the Garden of Eden. And God says to Adam, you need a mate. You need another person to spend time with. I've decided I'm going to make you someone. This person will be perfect for you. Physically, you will find them attractive. They will have the right colour hair and eyes for you, and a body that you just won't want to look away from. Mentally, they will be your equal, and they will help you to expand your own knowledge and your own views about things. They will never question your point of view or your right to have it, though. They will adore you. They will carry out your every wish. They will cook for you. They will clean for you. They will obey your every command. Adam looked at God with a grin on his face. Wow, thanks, God. God stopped walking and looked back at Adam and he said, there's only one catch. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg. And Adam went, what can I get for a rib? Tonight, Wendy's read the two versions of the creation of Eve. Looking at the first one in Genesis 1, we hear that God made humankind in our image. Male and female, God created them. God has already made inanimate matter at this time. Then he made plant life, then animal life, and then finally humankind, male and female, both together, equal partners in their creation. There is no inequality between the maleness and the femaleness within human nature. Genesis 2 gives us a different story. God makes the inanimate matter and then makes man from the dust of the ground. So a man is the first living thing made. God then creates the Garden of Eden and then a river to flow through the garden. Then in Genesis 2:18, God says, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. And that is when God creates the animals. However, it does seem like Fido, Skippy, Flipper and Whiskers just aren't perfect partners, aren't suitable helpers for Adam. And so a woman was made from one of Adam's ribs, which actually in the original translations it's side, it's not just one rib, it's the side of Adam. I think from the combination of these two creation stories, we can see that true companionship exists only between humans, two humans. So, the first man and woman, later named as Adam and Eve, are now living together in the Garden of Eden. There's no hierarchy between them. They are equal in the eyes of God. And so they live. We don't know how long they lived like this, in this domestic bliss, with God as their best friend visiting with them often. And then comes the fall. However, Eve has, in my opinion, always had a bit of a bum rap over this. She is blamed by some for everything which ails the human condition, from the pain of childbirth to greed, from sunburn to narcolepsy. It's all Eve's fault. However, this is what Genesis 3:1-7 says. Now, the serpent was more crafty than any of the other wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, that's Eve, did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat fruit from all the trees in the garden, but God did say you must not eat from the fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you will not touch it or you will die. You will certainly not die, the serpent said to the woman. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and ate it. She gave some to her husband who was with her. Whilst the conversation happens between Eve and the serpent, Adam was right there. He heard every word of it. It's not just Eve's fault. She took the first bite, she handed it to her husband, and he took the second bite. By the way, did you notice apple's never mentioned? An apple appeared in a picture a long, long time ago as the fruit, and since then it has been repeatedly used as the fruit of choice for that kind of depiction. It's actually just a fruit, we don't know what one. Even as Eve is often portrayed as the one who tempted or even tricked Adam into eating the fruit, but they were equally to blame. And thus the fall of humankind occurred. Male and female, God created them in God's own image, equal in creation. And then, male and female, they disobeyed God, together, equally in their fall. So, God kicks them out of the garden. God tells Adam that he will have to toil and labour for his food. God tells Eve that she will give birth to children in pain, that her relationship with her mate will sometimes be disrupted. And this is the first example of inequality, the first division of tasks, of pain, of responsibilities. A bit later on, we read that Eve has 2 sons. She becomes a mother. She becomes the first mother. Her one son is called Cain and the other Abel. Abel becomes a shepherd and Cain a farmer, and one day they give an offering to God. Abel gives God the best of his herd, but Cain gives God the rotten produce, which he himself would never have eaten. The smoke from Abel's sacrifice goes straight up, whilst the smoke from Cain's blows straight back into his face. This gets on Cain's goat, and he goes and he kills Abel. And for this, God banishes Cain. Eve, the mother of humankind, is now bereft. She had 2 sons at this point. One is dead, the other is banished. She goes through what is probably the 2 worst nightmares for any mother, for any parent, for any carer to go through. One son killed, the other gone. She'll never have contact with him again. She'll never know how he is. She'll never know if he's got a cold. She'll never know if he trips over. She'll never know if he finds happiness. She'll never know if he finds someone to be with. See, the Bible becomes a bit woolly about where the rest of humankind comes from at that point. The Bible does, however, say that Adam and Eve go on to have Seth and then other sons and daughters, until Adam died at the ripe old age of 930. Eve's death isn't recorded, so we don't know how old she was.
She obviously didn't go through the menopause then.
Probably not, but, you know, quite a few kids in there, I think. So Eve was created in equality with Adam. She messed up and ate the fruit along with Adam. She then became the first mother. Today's Mothering Sunday. As the first mother, I think she did her best, as I think the vast majority of mothers try to do. She encountered the joys of giving birth, the difficulties of raising kids with differing personalities. I doubt that when Cain killed his brother, it was the first fight that they'd ever had. She lived with the grief of losing 2 children, and probably the guilt of wondering if her parenting skills were lacking. Again, as I think most mothers do, most parents do at some time. She was persistent though, and had more kids. She probably learned as she went along, just as mothers and fathers do everywhere. But she was the first mother, the first to give birth, to raise kids, to be a role model, to get it wrong, but also to get it right. All of us here are or have been or will be role models to someone. We get it wrong sometimes. It doesn't matter if we've given birth, if we've raised kids. What makes us all like Mother Eve, all like the first mother, is our capacity to love. Our love for our partner, our love for God, our love for others. Eve is the mother of humankind, and I believe she is an amazing example to us all. Amen.
Amen.